Hello, you reached Manesh Patel from Ichimoku Today is January 27, 2013. This is our weekly Ichimoku analysis for all the futures market here in the U.S. We're going to cover everything from crude oil, natural gas, heating oil, commodity futures, lumber, sugarcane, bonds, and so forth. So we got a lot to cover. So our normal disclaimer, this is for education use only. All charts you're going to see today are from TradeStation, and music you're going to hear is from Guitaro. Here are contact details here, info@eiicapital.com. You could go to our website, ichimokutrade.com, access our free videos, get access to our heat maps and multiple time frame email alerts too. And you could even go to our blog where you could see how we use multiple time frame emails from there. Or you can contact any of our office locations here around the world. Okay, so let's get started and start going straight to the charts. And let's start off here at BO, and this is basically, if you look at the descriptions, you have the descriptions here. I'll just enlarge it here. Soybean oil is the first one here. If you look at soybean oil, it's basically in a counter trend mode, stuck between a support resistance. The resistance is going to be basically 53.28, and support's basically going to be about 50.31. It looks like it has a high probability going about to 53.28, but you got to wait and see what's going to happen with that. Here's corn. Corn is really doing nothing at all. It started a little bullish momentum here, did a pullback. It's at a minor support level right now. The major support level is going to be basically about, it's about 706. I wouldn't even say that, actually. Let me give you the exact value. That's roughly going to be, about here, 694.48. It's going to be its major support level. Resistance is going to be about 765 and 7/8 moving forward. Okay, this right here, if you look at this is cocoa. Cocoa here is basically starting a trend here on the daily time frame. It's broken out of the cloud here. However, it's dependent on volatility. It may pull back now. If it does pull back, it's going to basically pull back to roughly about, I don't know, we kind of like it to sit there and pull back close to about, I would say, at least about 22.93 if it can get there. Minor support resistance level is going to be 22.39. If it could pull back just even a little, then it has a high potential where it could come here and retest the lows at basically 20.55. But we definitely need to pull back. If it doesn't, if it just keeps on with volatility, goes all the way down to the bottom, you're going to miss the trade at all. But we definitely are waiting for a pullback on this one before we even enter that. Crude oil, if you look here, basically bounced off a major resistance level, which is basically roughly about here, 97.28. Bounced off there. Support level on this one's going to be 93.54. Ideally, we want it to kind of all the way come down to about 91.53 before we even consider looking at this to buy. Cotton's an interesting one here, broken out here on the daily time frame here. I ran into a major resistance level, which is kind of stuck at right now, which is about 80.75. If it could break that, then it's going to run into all these little resistance levels here and so forth moving forward. So where's my mouse? 84.61 is going to be kind of its next resistance level, which got very close to there. But it's going to run into a lot of resistance levels trying to move up, so be very careful thinking that this is going to start a long-term trend in the future. Support on this guy basically is going to be roughly about, I would say about 78.86 is going to be a support area. We'll come out to the Dow. This is basically US dollar index. Really don't hit nothing right now. Support on this one's going to be basically 79. Resistance on this guy is going to be 81 basically. It's really not doing anything at all. Feeder cattle, this thing's doing nothing. It's just consolidating between support resistance right now. And if you look here, I'll just sit there and give you all the support resistance values. Exactly. Let's just say support is going to be basically at 145. Resistance is going to be basically here. If I can get my mouse to work, at 156.37. So that's basically its resistance level there. This is basically, if you look at FV, 5-year Treasury. Okay. If you look there, this thing's just consolidating, consolidating, consolidating at a minor support level right now. If it could sit there and break that, then it could keep on going down to its next support level, which is roughly, if you're looking here, let's just put it out here. Next support level is going to be roughly about right there at 123.05. That's going to be its support level there. Our resistance level is going to be basically up at the top at 124.16. Heating oil is the next one, really doing nothing at all, just really tight consolidation pattern. 3.100 is going to be basically its resistance level. Support basically on this guy is going to be about 2.99 moving forward. This is one we've been watching for a while. This has been a nice little trend going down. Really hasn't given us any signs at all, but this resistance level is going to be basically 166.18 moving forward, and support basically going to be roughly basically around 140. I would say just this. You could just take this pivot low here and keep it simple. So let's just say that support's about 143 moving forward. Lumber, you could see here, yeah, it's finally did a little pullback right now on this guy. Support's going to be basically around 340. Resistance on this is going to be basically around 370, but it is going for its first major pullback, which is a good sign for lumber. Okay, now we got LC, which is live cattle here. You could see here it basically moved down last week to the bottom of this consolidation pattern. Really doing nothing there at all, right around 130. It's got to break that level to sit there and continue a trend to the downside. Resistance is going to be roughly around 138 moving forward. Lean hogs, here it's at its resistance level, basically 89. Support level on this guy is going to be basically about 84 moving forward. But it's just consolidating tight range, nothing really going on there. Natural gas really doing nothing at all. Bounced off a major resistance level in this. Let me see if I can show you that resistance level. And if you look here, it's 3.626 was its resistance level. Support level it's trying to break now. It's going to be 3.367. If it can break 3.367, this thing has a chance to sit there and go retest the lows on the weekly time frame. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens. A lot of people are bullish in nature right now for natural gas, but I'll be very careful to be completely bullish on this. Here's OC. I'll just scroll down here. And if you look at OC, which is basically oats, it's at a major resistance level right now. Let's just say it's at 365. If it breaks there, it's going to go to 379. That's its resistance level. If you look at support, it's basically going to be roughly about 354 moving forward, but that's a minor support level there. But the major support level is going to be roughly around 336. Okay. Orange juice really doing nothing at all, just consolidating between some major ranges. Major resistance is going to be about 135. Major support is going to be basically about 106.50. Platinum. If you look at platinum, really doing nothing. It's basically going to retest this this major resistance level here. And if we do this, it retests its major resistance level, which is at 1712. That's its major resistance level. Support basically is going to be roughly around 1612 moving forward. Okay, gasoline. It's looking like it's trying to break out, which it is. So this thing is starting a trend on both the daily and weekly. I'll keep an eye on this one. If you're looking for a good pullback level, I'll basically look at 2.800 moving forward. Rice, I think that's rice. Yep. Rice here is just consolidating. It's had its chance to break down here. It definitely has not done that at all. Broke for its minor resistance level. It's trying to get to its major resistance level, which is basically going to be around 15.953. Soybean, if you look at soybean, really doing nothing right now. Did a major pullback, which is really desperately needed. It's basically resistance support level is going to be around 1350 moving forward. resistance level is going to be basically around 1568, which is next resistance level. Sugar, this is another one we've been basically sitting there looking at and trading. This is slowly trickling down with time. This does, believe it or not, have a potential coming all the way down here to about $16. So we're kind of looking now for a target, but slowly trickling there. We don't mind that at all, but it's slowly moving down there. Gold really doing nothing at all. I think everyone saw it. 1640 is major support. Resistance going to be 1697. Well, 1700 moving forward. But a lot of people have been looking at that. I have no idea why. Soybean meal, basically it's undergoing its first major pullback right now. This is still very bearish in nature. Support level is going to be basically right down here, which is basically 373. Minor resistance level is going to be 425. Major one's going to be about 463 moving forward. Okay. 2-year U.S. Treasury really doing nothing except consolidating. It's not even worth talking about. 10-year Treasury doing nothing except consolidating, so that's not even worth talking about. A lot of people are looking at notes and bonds and basically looking at crashing. This is basically the 30-year. You can see it's at its major support level right now. Resistance level on this one is going to be 147. So definitely keep an eye on this as you move forward. Wheat. A lot of people looking at this. Not quite sure. It started a trend downwards here. Basically needs a major pullback up. Ideally, if it could sit there and come back to about roughly about here, which is about 814, that'll be great pullback. But the ideal pullback would be to about 851 moving forward. So keep an eye on this one as you watch forward. And then silver. And you can see silver is doing nothing too. Support on silver is going to be basically at 30. Resistance level is going to be about 3250 moving forward. So that's it for this week. We've kind of covered everything on the futures side. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email us here. Please go to our website, ichimokutrade.com, and you can access any of our free resources that are available out there. Thank you.